The restaurant shimmered under soft golden lights, candles flickering on every table like little souls whispering secrets. Outside, the rain tapped gently against the glass, blurring the city lights into watercolor streaks. Inside, at the corner table by the window, Ryan Carter waited. His black suit looked freshly pressed, his expression calm, almost too calm, as if every gesture was calculated. He glanced at his watch, 8:57 p.m. 3 minutes early, as always. Sophia Bennett entered the restaurant with a nervous smile and a heart pounding against her ribs. She had promised herself she wouldn't fall for him again, not after what happened last year. But here she was, drawn to him like gravity pulls the tide. Her deep red dress glowed in the candlelight, her eyes catching the reflection of every flame. Ryan stood when she arrived, pulling out her chair with that same disarming charm. "You look beautiful, Sophia," he said softly. "You always say that," she replied, smiling faintly. "And you always mean it, like a man with something to hide." Ryan laughed, but his eyes didn't. They stayed still, dark, unreadable. As the waiter poured wine, a silence stretched between them, filled with memories of the night that broke them. The night Sophia found a hidden file on Ryan's laptop, a folder named the Bennett case. She never asked what it was. She just left, heartbroken and afraid. Tonight was supposed to be closure, or at least that's what Sophia told herself. They talked about work, travel, the weather, anything but the truth. Yet every word carried a shadow of the past. Ryan reached across the table, his fingers brushing hers. "I never got to explain," he said. "That file, it wasn't what you thought." "Then what was it?" she whispered. "A mistake I was trying to fix." The candle between them flickered, its flame bending as if reacting to his words. Sophia looked down, realizing her hands were trembling. Somewhere deep down, she wanted to believe him. But a voice inside her whispered, "He's lying again." Then, just as the waiter brought dessert, Sophia's phone buzzed. One message from an unknown number. "He's not who you think he is. Don't trust him." Her blood ran cold. She looked up, and Ryan was already watching her. "Something wrong?" he asked. To know. "Nothing," she lied, but he knew. Outside, thunder rolled. Inside, two hearts waged silent wars. Sophia excused herself to the restroom, gripping her phone tightly. She opened the message again. A second text arrived. "If you want to know the truth, meet me outside in 10 minutes. Alone." She stared at her reflection in the mirror, torn between fear and curiosity. What if it's real? What if Ryan's secret is bigger than she imagined, and yet her heart still wanted him? That was the cruelest part. Meanwhile, Ryan sat alone, his expression hardening. He knew this night wouldn't end quietly. Someone had found him. Someone who knew about the case. 10 minutes later, Sophia slipped out into the rain. A black car was parked across the street. The window rolled down halfway, and a man's voice said, "Miss Bennett?" She nodded cautiously. "I used to work with Ryan," the man said. "Do you know who he really is? He's not just a businessman. He was part of a private investigation firm. The file you found wasn't about you, it was about your father." Sophia's eyes widened. "My father? He died years ago." The man shook his head. "That's what Ryan wanted you to believe." Before she could respond, a loud bang echoed from behind the restaurant. People screamed. Glass shattered. The lights went out. Sophia turned and saw fire reflecting in the windows. Her heart stopped. "Ryan," she screamed. She ran toward the flames without thinking. The car sped away into the night. Inside, smoke curled through the air. Tables were overturned, the smell of gas strong. Ryan stumbled out from behind the bar, coughing. He grabbed Sophia's arm. "You shouldn't have come back," he shouted. "You think I'd leave you in there?" She yelled back. "You don't understand, Sophia. They were never after you. They were after me." He pulled her out just as the ceiling collapsed behind them. Outside, the rain poured harder, extinguishing sparks as sirens wailed in the distance. Sophia looked at him, drenched, trembling, confused. "What are you talking about? Who are they?" Ryan's face softened with guilt. "I used to work for a company that erased people's pasts for the government, for money. Your father was one of our targets. But I couldn't do it. I saved him. That's why they killed him, and now they're coming for me." Sophia's heart shattered and healed at the same time. Everything she hated him for was built on a lie of protection. Days passed. Ryan was hospitalized. Sophia stayed by his side. The news called it a gas leak accident, but Sophia knew better. Every night she watched his chest rise and fall, terrified he'd never wake up. One evening, he did. "You stayed," he whispered weakly. "I never left," she replied. "You shouldn't have to forgive me." "I don't," she said softly. "But I still love you." Tears glimmered in Ryan's eyes. "Sophia, if something happens to me, there's a letter in my jacket. Don't read it until I'm gone." "Don't say that," she cried. "You're not going anywhere." But the next morning, he was gone. No heartbeat. No goodbye. Just a note in her hand. Sophia opened it with shaking fingers. Sophia, if you're reading this, I couldn't stay. The people after me will never stop unless I disappear. The night at the restaurant wasn't an accident, it was a warning. You were never supposed to be part of this. I wanted to tell you everything, but love made me weak. You deserve peace, not danger. I've gone somewhere they can't find me. Maybe one day, if fate is kind, we'll meet again. Ryan. Her tears soaked the paper. Outside, the rain returned, soft, steady, endless, but just as she closed the letter, her phone buzzed again. Unknown number, he's alive. Her breath caught. The message was followed by a picture, taken just hours ago. A man, standing on a dock, facing the sea. Ryan. Weeks turned into months. Sophia sold everything, left the city, and followed the clues. Each one led her closer to the truth or to madness. Until one morning, in a small coastal town in Italy, she saw him, Ryan. He stood at the edge of the pier, the wind tousling his hair. When he turned, his eyes met hers, and everything stopped. "You found me," he said quietly. "I was never going to stop," she replied. They stood there, between sea and sky, between past and future. The sun rose behind them, painting the world gold again. "What happens now?" she asked. "Now," Ryan smiled faintly, "we start over. No more lies." Sophia stepped closer, her hand finding his. "And if they come for us again?" Ryan looked out at the horizon. "Then they'll have to catch us together." The wind carried his words like a promise, the waves crashed against the pier like applause, and as the candlelight of morning filled their eyes, the story of Ryan and Sophia began again. Rose. The end rose.